It has been a disastrous season for New York baseball, and much has been left to be desired as the media and fans have not had a great year. If you're a fan of New York baseball or like to promote and talk about New York, the Yankees and Mets have certainly not given them much to talk about as far as being good. Now they are going to miss the postseason unless some miraculous thing happens here. They're both like 10 games out of the playoffs. Unless these teams just catch lightning in a bottle, they will both miss the postseason. Kind of rare, right? New York teams miss the playoffs all that often. I believe the last time it happened was 2014. It doesn't happen all that often. No New York teams in the playoffs will be a little weird. It's a little weird. Of course, you want these markets in the postseason. Like, I'm an LA guy, and it's just like, you want to see the big markets in the postseason. Maybe if you're a small market, a small market fan, maybe you don't care for LA and New York and Chicago and whoever. But as a big market fan, I do want to see the big markets in the postseason. And the Yankees and the Mets being at the top of the standings, it's just better for the game. It's better for baseball, no matter how you spin it. But both teams failed to live up to the expectations. Now they have to retool and rebuild into getting back in the playoffs in 2024, at least attempting to. And so in today's video, I'm going to go over kind of how they should do that, kind of what went wrong just a little bit this year, take a look at some core pieces, and who I think they should probably cut loose if they have a chance to this offseason. Let's start with the Yankees. New York Yankees out of the American League, of course, last place in the American League East. And the Yankees was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. They were mediocre for a bit there. Good mediocre, near a good team, but not really a bad team. They were sort of mediocre. They were 35-25 after they beat the Dodgers in a series at Dodger Stadium back in early June, and that was kind of when the season also went down. That was their high mark and low mark of the season as well, because in that series they lost Aaron Judge, and when Aaron Judge went down, so did the Yankees. The ship sunk. The ship just sunk from there. Kind of slow, kind of fast maybe, but yeah, the ship just went down from there. Ever since Aaron Judge was out on June 2nd, the Yankees have gone a whopping 31-44. That is a bad team. That is a bad team. Even with Judge, a portion of that has been with Judge back in the lineup. He came back a month ago maybe. By the time he came back, they were just too far gone, right? They were just too far down the rabbit hole, and they could not dig their way out of it. There's too many problems on this team besides Aaron Judge, being the lone constant producer. The Yankees have too many problems. The writing has been on the wall all season long. They cut Aaron Hicks, dead away off of their team. Josh Donaldson, they just released him. Harrison Bader, they cut Harrison Bader. All these guys are guys that were not helping or contributing to the team. And I like Harrison Bader. I'm a big fan of Bader. But he just was not fitting in with the Yankees and what they should be doing. The Yankees still have a multitude of problems. They still have multitude of problems on the offense, pitching side of things. Miguel Herman, Severino is a bad fit, but Severino is going to be a free agent. So the Yankees need to get younger. Kind of the moral of the story of this video is to get young. Teams need to get young. The Yankees and Mets need to get some youth infusion in there. And the Yankees have just done that by calling up Jason Dominguez today. I talked about Jason Dominguez in my award show preview, and I picked him to be Rookie of the Year. Obviously, he will not be the Rookie of the Year this year, but he has a great chance to be next year. So cash in on Jason Dominguez because he's going to be pretty good. The Martian, I like it. I love the Martian name. That is a very cool nickname. And already hit a home run in his first at-bat in the big league. So Jason Dominguez, I think, will live up to the bill. But so far, off to a good start, and Jason Dominguez will be a cornerstone of this Yankee franchise. Austin Wells, another one of their top prospects. I think he's on the team now. Austin Wells should be the starting catcher next year. Dominguez should be starting in the outfield next year. As for guys who should not be on this Yankees team, now, it doesn't mean they're not going to be, but guys that I would try to move, okay? You guys could let me know down below in the comments who should move, who should not move off of this team. I'm highlighting Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Anthony Rizzo, and Gleyber Torres. These four guys were kind of sort of a big part of their core, and I don't think that core is going to get it done right. Obviously, you're going to build around Judge. You're going to build around Garrett Cole. I'm highlighting Oswaldo Cabrera in there, Oswaldo Peraza, Anthony Volpe. These young guys, let them play, and maybe they could be part of the next Yankee core here, right? Give them a chance to play and grow in the big league level. If they don't hit, they don't hit. Get the young guys a chance, okay? And Carlos Stanton, he's a Yankee till 2028. DJ LeMahieu, Yankee till 2026. Anthony Rizzo till 2024. And Gleyber Torres till 2025. So if the Yankees can move at least a couple of those guys, they'll be in much better shape. And that should be at the top of the bulletin board this offseason. As for the New York Mets, sort of a similar trajectory here with the Mets, just kind of a different path to get there. So the Mets went all in on this offseason, pushed all the chips in. Steve Cohen did, of course. He bought Justin Verlander, right? He tandem of Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. Obviously, both those guys are now traded. So the Mets sold at the deadline. Before they sold at the deadline, though, the high water mark was 13-6. They got off to a 13-6 start in April. Like, they started off pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good start. And things just kind of pummeled from there. They just completely just fell out of sync. I don't know what happened. I know just looking back at the schedule, there's a lot of rain delays, postponements. Maybe that got them out of the rhythm. Who knows? But yeah, 13-6 was their high mark, and they just never recovered after that. A lot of veterans on this team that have had pretty good major league careers, but nothing special. Like Eduardo Escobar, Tommy Pham, Acuna, Daniel Vogelbach. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, they signed Brandon Nimmo in the offseason. They let Jacob deGrom go. All those moves aside, the Mets just did not put it together on the field, and they need to get younger. And they realized that at the deadline by selling, something the Yankees didn't really do. So I applaud the Mets for selling. They got to build around the core of Cisco Lindor and Brett Baty. I know Brett Baty hasn't been as good, but give him a chance. He's still young. The Mets still want him to be part of that core, I think, and I think Brett Baty will eventually pan out. Kodai Senga is a guy that you could potentially highlight as their core. He's there for another 4 years. He had a good year this year. Edwin Diaz was out this year, and that was a big part of the Mets' kind of downfall. Edwin Diaz hurt in the WBC. The Mets really just never recovered after that either. The Mets season just kind of got off to a sour start, right? Without their closer, their star closer, they signed to a $100 million contract, and the Mets really just couldn't get it together from there. He's going to miss all of this season. He should be back next year, ready for spring training. Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo, I think those guys are part of the core. They are not expandable. Like, I would expand Jeff McNeil if I have the chance. I'll expand Brandon Nimmo if I have the chance. I'll expand Kodai Senga if I have the chance. The only guy that I think is untouchable on the Mets, Lindor. I think he's the only untouchable. And I would still trade Lindor. But I'm not going to do that. The Mets will not do that. Lindor is obviously the guy, as Judge and Core are the guys. The Mets have to do something here. I had contracts that I would try to unload for the Mets would be Starlin Marte. Starlin Marte is a big one for me. They got to unload him. They got to find a way to get rid of Marte's contract. Marte has 2 more years. I would try to get rid of that contract if I was in New York. Pete Alonso, he's been in trade rumors. Is he part of this core? He should be. He really should be part of this core. I would put him down as part of the core, but I didn't. Is Pete Alonso part of the core? Maybe, maybe not. Again, the Mets are kind of a trickier team. Not the best prospects, but maybe next year we'll start seeing some of those more prospects. The Mets have some, shuffling to do there. They brought up Ronnie Mauricio. He's definitely part of the core. So Mauricio, Lindor, middle infield tandem there. I think that'll be good for New York. Both New York teams brought up their top prospects, and Ronnie Mauricio and Jason Dominguez. I think both guys will be pretty good. So with that being said, you guys can let me know down below in the comment section. What should the Yankees and Mets do? Who is the most likeliest to return to the playoffs in 2024? If I had to pick one, I'm probably going to say the Yankees. I'll probably get let down by that, but sure, why not the Yankees? I think the Yankees are sitting on their hands. I think they're still in a better position with the prospects and all that. So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, I'm going to sign off, and I'll talk to you guys again next time. Later.